What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be going over we're going to be ranking the best Dark Matter cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So obviously with this specific tier list, there's not going to be a worthless tier. If you guys are wondering the reason why there's not going to be a worthless tier, I mean, there's no absolutely worthless Dark Matter cards. There's a lot of not good Dark Matter cards in my opinion, but, well, not great Dark Matter cards. But none of them are worthless. Absolutely. I think it is a crazy thing to call any of these Dark Matter cards worthless, even if I don't like them. I think they're terrible value. Look, as cards, they are not worthless. Before we get onto it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to 250,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Right now, we are actually on... we are like literally 1,140 off. So we're getting really close. If we can manage to get the 249k by the end of the day, we are actually going to be on track to hit it. Really do appreciate all the support on the channel recently. And anyway, now let's get on to it. So we're going to start off with Mel Daniels. Like, again, we're ranking these compared to other Dark Matters. Other 99 overalls. So I think Mel Daniels... I'm going to put him bang smack in the middle. I'm going to put him B tier. I really like Mel Daniels. I know some people don't, but I think he's great. He's in my main triple threat squad. Him, Danny Ferry, and David Robinson. Those guys are destroying everybody. I don't really know about him on current gen. I think on current gen he's a little bit flawed, but on next gen he's fantastic. He might go down. He's definitely not top 2 tiers of Dark Matters. He might go into C tier. Okay, Ben Simmons, S tier. Doesn't matter what way you're talking about this Ben Simmons, whether it's Dark Matters, whether it's cards. There is no question. The guy is an S tier player. The guy is an S plus tier card. Maybe the best card in the game. His shooting's incredible. His dribbling's incredible. On next gen, he can curry slide. He's also a 6'10" point guard. I mean, the guy has got everything. He's got absolutely everything in game. So for me, Ben Simmons is going in here at S tier. Alright. Then we got Melo. I'm sorry, he's D. Like, when we're looking at the rest of these cards, can you pick out more than one that's worse than Melo? I mean, he's not great by any means. His shooting is very good. He's a really good catch and shoot player on next gen. But his defense leaves a little bit to be desired. And for me, I think the wingspan of like a Mel Daniels makes Mel Daniels quite a bit better. But I'm going to put him in D tier. Chris Bosh, B tier. I think Bosh, again, is another really solid card. I think the thing with Chris Bosh is that he's kind of underrated in the fact that most people don't rank him up there with the Shaqs of the world. I don't think he's quite... well, not even Shaqs. The Shaqs, the Wilts, and Kareems. I think he's just a tiny bit off. Like, I think that the gap between him and, say, whoever the best center in the game is smaller than, like, the gap between him and, like, an Anthony Davis. Davis is so far off. But smaller gap between him, like an Eddie Curry. But, yeah, I think he's close. Some people I know still run Bosh, especially at the power forward position, and have a lot of success with him. His catch and shoot jumper is unbelievable. He's got a lot, and I mean a lot of positives. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it, and I put some B tier. DeMar DeRozan. A tier, I think. Again, this is another tough one. He's either A or B tier. He's definitely not in the S tier players. DeRozan has got, obviously, curry slide, a fantastic jumper. His dunking is exceptional. His stats and badges are exceptional. Obviously, he's a Dark Matter card. They all have exceptional stats and badges. This all comes down to like player builds and animations. And yeah, I think he is still one of the best 2 guards in the game. He might go down to B tier, but I think A tier is where he's staying for right now. Rose. D. He's a 6'3" point guard. I'm sorry, D Rose. You're in D. He's living up to the name. For this tier list, he is living up to the name D Rose. Because he is in D and it is Rose. I'm gonna leave now. But yeah. So Rose, he's just a little bit too small. His release isn't spectacular. His handle's pretty good, but like, is he significantly better than John Wall? No. And if John Wall was on this list, he'd be in D tier as well. Grant Hill. This is a close one. He's better. Oh my god, Carmelo Anthony, you stay in D tier. You're trying to sneak your way up. I'm going to put Grant Hill in S tier. I will say this. Ben Simmons might be better at power forward than Grant Hill is. Or than Grant Hill is, obviously. Sorry. Ben Simmons might be better at power forward and point guard. Grant Hill might still be the best point guard in the game. Like, it all depends on your play style. It all depends what you do. But you can make the argument that Grant Hill is that #1 point guard. So, I think for that reason, while Ben Simmons is also probably the best power forward in the game, not named Danny Ferry, they both belong in S tier. Okay. Then we've got J.R. Smith. J.R. B tier as far as these Dark Matters go. He's alright. He is really alright. Like, his shooting is really, really good. His handle's really good. He's a good dunker. I don't know. I've used him a few times. I've only used him on current gen. He's not good on current gen. I will say that. They completely tank his behind the back. Like, he's one of like the 25 best cards in the game. And normally, I think every other season, you've been able to argue that the level 40 reward, even at the end of the season, is the #1 card in the game. I don't think you can argue that J.R. Smith is the #1 card in the game. And you can't even argue that he's closer in the conversation. If they kept his Pro 3 behind the back, we might be looking closer to A tier. But still, I don't think it's the be-all and end-all of him. But I still just think that with the amount of like very quick releases we have, with the amount of better releases, guys very, very similar. Like, for example, DeRozan. DeRozan just does a lot of things better than J.R. with a better release. So I'm going to put him B tier. Kareem. I like Kareem. A tier. I've been using Kareem a few times, and I'm a big, big fan. I think his dribbling is a little bit... His dribbling's underrated. His speed glitching is spectacular. The only thing with Kareem... The only thing I'm going to say with Kareem is, again, he only has a primary position. So you can't play Kareem and Shaq. You can't play Kareem and Wilt. You can't play Kareem and Taco. So, like, you can't even play him with any of the other Dark Matter centers apart from Mel Daniels. But, I don't know. I think the 83 ball, look, I think Wilt is just that little bit better. So I'm going to put Kareem in A tier. Like, there's only going to be, like, there's 5 tiers and there's 21 players. There's only going to be 4 players, I think, in S tier. Kevin Garnett. This is a close one. Do I want to put Kevin Garnett in C tier or D tier? Or B tier? He's going here. Mel Daniels is going... I prefer Mel Daniels to Kevin Garnett. I really like KG, though. KG's got great length. He's a good shooter. I like his release. I like his dribbling, dunking. Oh, I'm going to keep him B tier. First C tier player, though, is Kobe. I am not a fan of this Kobe. If you were to ask me who's better on current gen, Kobe or J.R. Smith, I would say Kobe. But Kobe's borderline unusable on next gen. Whereas J.R. is still one of the best point guards in the game. Like, J.R. is top 5 or 6 point guard in the game on next gen. Whereas Kobe is... Man, he's weak. He's very, very weak on that gen. So Kobe's going to C tier. I don't mind his release. I don't mind him on current gen. He does a lot of decent things. But, like... I mean, he's the most expensive... Well, he was anyway up until yesterday, the most expensive card in the game. Well, Friday, the most expensive card in the game. He's probably second or third at this stage. And he's just like not a top 20 card. Jordan. I'm putting Jordan in C tier as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Jordan. I think Jordan's on that level of Kobe. I think that layup animation, that layup package is just killer. Like, I know a lot of people don't mind the layup package. I just don't. I'm just not a fan of him. I'm just not a fan of Michael Jordan. And I haven't liked Michael Jordan in a 2K game since 2K15. Like, I didn't like him in 18, didn't like him in 19, didn't like him in 20. I don't like him in 21. I don't know what it is about Jordan. I used to love Jordan in 2K. I have not been a fan of Michael Jordan in quite a while. Is he bad? No. But neither is Kobe, and neither are Derrick Rose and Carmelo Anthony. We can't rank all of these players in... Like... We can't rank every player in S tier, so You gotta have someone in C tier, and it's Jordan. This Michael Jordan. D. I know there's actually not much between the Jordans. If you want to put the two Jordans in the same tier, be my guest. Like, Jordan is better than Melo. I will say that. Like, the only thing this Jordan really has going for him is the defensive stance. And on next gen, the defensive stance really doesn't do anything. He's a decent dunker. He doesn't even great. As far as I'm aware, I don't even think he has a good dribble style. And I've tried him a few times. I have not enjoyed him at all. Pistol Pete Maravich. If we're talking next gen, the guy's A tier. We're talking current gen, the guy's D tier. Let me put Pistol Pete in C tier. I'm going to put him in C tier because he's very, very weak on the gen that most people play on. But if you're talking about next gen, Pistol Pete Maravich is one of the best. Like, I would put him J.R. Smith or above level. I think he 100% belongs in J.R. Smith or above level. But the difference is that, well, we gotta have just some players in the lower tiers, and I think he does belong in that C tier. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal, A. I mean, I think him versus Kareem is a close one. I hate his release. I don't think he's the best center in the game. He can only play center. Like, the way I play the game, I would rather have an Eddie Curry than a Shaq. But I'm not going to be crazy and say that Eddie Curry's better because he's not. Shaq is better. Shaq statistically and Wilt are very comparable. I think Shaq may have the worst release I've ever used in a 2K game. Like, I hate it. It's so bad. I was trying it meter on, meter off. I tried everything with Shaq's release to see if I can make it better, but nope. Like, I can green quite easily with Wilt, doesn't matter what gen it's on. But man, Shaq is weak. Shaq is a weak shooter. But at the end of the day, he's still the diesel. He still gets those unbelievable animations. He's still got a good wingspan. He's still the best rebounder in the game. So he's got an A tier, and it's a close one. I don't know who I would take, Shaq or Kareem, though. That's a really close one. Then we got Steph, the worst dark matter in the game, and it's not even close. If you're talking, like, if you want to say Steph Curry's better than Derrick Rose, just give me a reason why. Like, in my opinion, Steph Curry's release is very slightly better than Derrick Rose's release. I will give you that. Rose, with any sort of half-decent coach, goes up to 99 3-ball. They both have equally as good driving dunks. Steph Curry, though, has the frail build. I don't know what it's called, like the ultra slim build. So he plays literally no defense and has a 6'3" wingspan, whereas Derrick Rose has a wingspan of 6'8". So he's at least going to be able to stick some sort of defense. Like Steph Curry, and then if you're looking on next gen, Steph Curry's got the Steph Curry dribble style. He can't speed burst or he can't quick stop. Like, nobody's going to use Steph Curry. Steph was good before they patched the fades on next gen. Once they patched the fades on next gen, man, you're not getting open with Steph Curry. Whenever I play Steph Curry, I just hard on ball Steph because he's not, without the speed burst, he's not going to be able to go by you to the basket. And there's a lot of situations where he's just not going to be able to get open. Like, if you on ball Steph Curry, he's not going to do anything to you. It doesn't even matter whose hands he's in. Even like Splash, Steph Curry's #1 fan, will tell you that this Steph Curry sucks on next gen. Like, Darren Williams is better. Tyrese Halliburton's better. There are 20k MT cards significantly better than this Steph Curry. Heck, you could argue that Clem Haskins is better because of the way not on current gen. On next gen, you could argue Clem Haskins is better because of the way dribble styles work. So Steph Curry, unfortunately, and I know there's going to be people in the comment section, I have a lot of success with Steph Curry. He's good for me. It's like, yeah, well, he's got 99. He's at 99 in every single stat. Like, of course, like, we could all go out in a game and drop 50 with any one of these cards. He's going to be they're 99 overall cards. You should be able to have success with all of them. I think everyone will have success with all these. Steph is just the worst and it's not even close. Taco. C tier. They nerfed the hook. He's still the cheese ball, which is what keeps him off D tier. But they nerfed post hooking. When post hooking was a thing, Shaq or Taco would probably be B tier. But they completely nerfed it. He can hit wide open shots. Yeah, congratulations. Like, but he can't score really in the post. He's kind of slow. And I mean, Simbular is better at a lot of things. And if you're being outclassed in a lot of ways by a 7k MT alternative, I mean, Taco's lucky he's not in D tier. And I think I will put Taco in D tier. Tracy McGrady. If we're talking next gen, he's S. We're talking current gen, he's A. Or maybe B. I'm going to put T-Mac in A tier. T-Mac, obviously a really good shooter. One big problem with him is the... actually, what am I talking about? One big problem? He has no problems. He's basically flawless. One problem with him on current gen is that he has steady, so it means you're going to miss a few more whites, but he's still got way more length than a DeMar DeRozan. He's still going to be elite on defense, 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's still a good shooter. He's still a good dribbler. He's a good slasher. He's a good dunker. He's a great defender, and he just does everything perfectly well. Great card, A tier. Then we got Wilt Chamberlain. So Wilt, I'm going to put Wilt Chamberlain in S tier. I think Wilt is that little bit better than Shaq and Kareem. I know I initially said that I thought Kareem was better than Wilt. Having played, I have not used either of them since I made those statements. Having played against them, I don't fear Kareem, I fear Wilt. Mainly because with his low-ish three-point rating, for me, I feel like I can give Kareem a little bit more space. I feel like I don't need to worry as much about him. Whereas I think Wilt has cooked me from three plenty of times. Doesn't matter what gen it's on, Wilt has cooked me from three plenty of times. So there's a lot of things with Wilt and Kareem where I'm just like, I would much rather come up against Kareem than come up against a Wilt. And then I would much rather come up against a Shaq than a Wilt as well. But in my opinion, the best three cards in the game are these three guys right here. They're Ben Simmons, Grant Hill, and Wilt Chamberlain. Actually, no, sorry. Danny Ferry, number 1. These are probably the next three best players in the game. And if you're on current gen, obviously Danny Ferry is not number 1. If you're on next gen, in my opinion, Danny Ferry is number 1. So, yeah, that's where we're putting Wilt. And Zion's, I mean, this Zion is this tier. I'm going to put this Zion in... I don't know whether to put Zion in B tier or C tier. I think he's better than Kobe. I'm going to put Zion here and Zion here. Only difference is half range. For me, Hero Zion's a lot better than like a Hero Jordan. I like his release. I like that Kobe release. I would have preferred he still had base 29, but Kobe released a million times better than Zion on next gen. He's a good shooter, good, obviously can Curry slide, quick stop on next gen, dunks on everybody, and has that wide player build. So here's a close one between B and C for the good Zion. I'm going to go B tier. And the Pantheon Zion, he's C. I think he's better than Melo. It's really the comparison. It's like, is he better than Melo? I would take him 10 times out of 10 over Carmelo Anthony. I know Melo can play the 2, but even at the 3 when they're both playing that same position, I would take Zion 10 times out of 10 over Carmelo Anthony. So for that reason, he is going into C tier. So anyway, yeah, that is the video, lads. So we have 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5 in these tiers. We were trying to get 4 in each of them, and then one with 5. But I mean, if you want to move like an extra center up, like a Shaq or a Kareem, I don't think DeRozan or T-Mac really belong. You could, like, for me, I would have Chris. I think Chris Bosh might be better than DeMar DeRozan. The only reason I have Bosh down here is that I don't want there to be like 3 centers in A tier. Actually, you know what? There's no power forwards. I'll move Bosh up. I'm gonna move DeRozan down 1. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with like that. Stick it like that. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. These are my rankings of the best Dark Matters in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Obviously, there's not a lot of these cards because, well, there's only 21 Dark Matters. And obviously, this video is a lot shorter. Most of the time, these tier lists end up being like 30, 40 minutes long. And this one is like, give or take a couple of seconds, 20 or so minutes. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.